I've just had one, mate. Thanks, mate. What you got, Paul? Drinks are on you then. You'll have a what? Oh, milkshake. I'll give you a milkshake. You all right, Kev?
I haven't stumbled across one side, but I have lost a kink in the fucking line.
I lost it last drop.
I'll turn them up tomorrow. I'm doing a bit of torching around. That's a big match in South Yorkshire today, that.
Look at Wakes and Even. I've not tried that.
Well, I was feeling
Who pegged it?
fucking ice. It's got to ice all day.
Put an hole in the bowl. Now we've got Nicholas Speed. Development.
Oh, you say on your camera? If he's over, tip it. If he's over, ban him. What's that tip half of them back?
So you admitted to £22. Let's see what you've got. No, I said £42. I said. 38.2.
Well, blow me down.
Can I have a photograph? Certainly.
Yeah.
Well, this was an interesting match. As we all know, the weather's been fantastic recently. However, on this particular match, there was a major frost the night before, and as expected, I got to Lindholme and the bonsai was frozen in nearly all the pegs. Only thin ice, but to be honest with you, I love this style of fishing. I just love fishing up to ice. Even if there's a wind on, the area where you fish once you broke the ice is flat calm, you can present your bait perfectly, and you can just see everything that's going on with your float, and I just really enjoy this style of fishing. Luckily, I drew peg 66, which was the area I wanted to draw, really, simply because they'd had the spinners on overnight to try and make a lot of the pegs ice free. And of course, that generally pushes the fish away from the spinners towards the middle of the lake, which is round about where like 64, 66 is. And to top it off as well, my peg was frozen from about 11 metres. But as I said, it was only thin ice. There was a lot of anglers that broke the ice from before the match had started. But because it was thin ice, I felt that it was going to thaw out throughout the day anyway, and I didn't feel the need to actually break the ice. My plan was start fishing up to the ice and then break the ice as the day progressed if I needed to, just with a pole pot, hitting the top of the ice, creating a nice little gap, and just venturing further out into the ice. So, of course, because I only had a limited amount of water, it was just an out-and-out pole match. I fished just soft 4mm dynamite expander, pro expander pellet on the hook, 4mm pellet, just sprinkling micros, and recently it's been out and out hard pellet, so it's been nice to have a soft expander match, to be honest with you. So I started off at 11 metres right up to the ice, fed 3 lines, and might have had I think I had 2 F1s in the first hour. It was really hard, but nobody around the lake were catching any fish. Obviously the carp and the F1s had just completely shut shop, and as bizarre as it sounds, a couple of F1s in the first hour was really a good start. Then in the second hour I broke the ice out to 14 metres, and now I'm fishing into channels that I've made, 3 channels to my right, in the middle and to the left, and rotated using the same rig. I managed to find the same depth. And the reason why I did that, what I did was, before I broke the ice, I put my plummet through the ice until I found the area what was the same depth, and then broke the ice in that area. So I wasn't breaking loads of ice away. I was still creating nice little channels that were, obviously, like what I said, creating good bait presentation. And what you'll find is when there's ice on the surface, it's like there's a wind blowing on the surface to the fish. it shimmers the light, and that's why fish always seem to hang underneath the ice, because it's shelter for them. It's like a bit of a safe zone for them. The least ice I could break away, the better for my peg, to keep it stronger, hopefully catch a few more fish, and it seemed to work. I caught really well at 14 metres, and then that eventually died, and then I broke it out to 16 metres, and that's where I finished the match on, at just short of 16 metres. And I've had a lovely day's fishing. I've caught 8 F1s and a load of skimmers, and I've ended up with £38. I reckon I've had 22, 20, 23, £24 of skimmers, something like that, and the rest have been F1s. And Paul Christie was second with £21 of skimmers and a couple of small F1s. And Alex Doherty was third with £20 of skimmers. So, all honesty, although the wakes weren't good, I really enjoyed it. It was just a nice day's fishing, just to have a nice net of skimmers for a change. Great day's fishing. And then I went back on Saturday. Now, I forgot my camera on Saturday, and I drew Laurels. Peg 56, it's a good peg. 55 is on the point, but they don't usually put 55 in. 56 is the first peg that they're putting in on that arm. So I've got the bay in front of me, and I've got to the point as well. And to be honest with you, I've caught a few fish with soft 4mm expander, short, feeding micros, the same bait, basically. Good turnout as well. There were 23 hangs on the lake, so that meant obviously there were certain pegs that were going to be stronger than others, and I favoured my peg as a good peg on the day. However, the first hour I had a few fish at 7 metres, at the bottom of the near side shelf, just at an angle to my left towards the point, and then my peg really died. I've gone to 14 metres, I couldn't catch. I've had a couple of fish on the bomb and corn to my left, towards just on the other side of the point. And then I've gone to 14 metres in front of me. The wind's picked up by this time. I've not really caught that many fish. And as a last resort, with an hour to go, I've chucked the bomb over my pole line, just so I could have a cup of tea, because I'd just given up. I've tried everywhere. And I think by that time I might have had £20, £25 at the max. And I've chucked the bomb out of my pole line, and I got linered to death, which was, I was just amazed, to be honest with you. Not forgetting that on the 14 metre line, I'd only had 2 bites on the pole, yet on the bomb, it was telling me there were a lot of fish there. And I've started loose feeding corn on my bomb line, and I've had a run of fish. I've had three good carp that will have gone £25 that I've had in the space of 10-15 minutes. And then I've had 2 more F1s before the final whistle, and I've ended up with £54, which has won the match. So that was a real surprise to me. Enjoyable day, really enjoyed it.